One of the biggest frustrations for parents is that your teen used to talk to you, and now it feels like they've built a wall. You ask, "How was your day?" And all you get is, "Fine." You try to dig deeper, and they shut down. But here's the truth. It's not that your teen doesn't want to talk to you. It's that they don't feel safe or understood when they do. Today, I'll share the 5 biggest reasons teenagers stop talking to their parents, and most importantly, how you can rebuild that connection and get them to open up again. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Parenting Made Simple with Dr. Leo. Every week, I share proven insights from child and adolescent psychology to help you raise confident, resilient, and emotionally strong kids. Reason 1. Fear of judgment. The first reason teens stop talking is fear of judgment. Imagine you're a teenager and you tell your parent, "I'm struggling with school," or "I like someone," or "I feel anxious." But instead of listening, your parent reacts with shock, criticism, or a lecture. What happens next? The teen learns, "If I share, I'll get judged." I once worked with a 15-year-old girl who told me, "I'd rather talk to my friends than my mom because my mom always freaks out." And here's the key. Her mom wasn't a bad parent. She just reacted emotionally out of love. But to the teen, it felt unsafe. What's the fix? When your teen shares something, no matter how small, resist the urge to correct or judge. Instead, say, "Thank you for telling me. I'm glad you trust me." That single sentence creates safety and encourages them to keep talking. Reason 2. They feel you don't listen. The second reason is lack of active listening. Many parents think they're listening, but while the teen talks, they're scrolling their phone, interrupting, or already preparing an answer. Teens pick up on that immediately. One boy told me, "I stopped telling my dad things because he doesn't actually listen. He just gives advice I never asked for." Here's the truth. Teens don't always want a solution. Sometimes they just want to feel heard. The solution: practice active listening. That means putting away distractions, making eye contact, and reflecting back what they say. So you're saying you felt left out at lunch? Simple techniques like this show them you're really there for them. Reason 3. Fear of punishment. The third reason is fear of consequences. If every time your teen admits a mistake, the response is punishment, they'll stop admitting mistakes. For example, if your teen confesses, "I failed my math test," and you explode with anger, guess what? Next time, they'll hide it. One parent told me, "My son lies to me all the time." But when we looked deeper, the boy wasn't lying. He was protecting himself from punishment. The fix: focus on coaching, not punishing. Instead of, "You're grounded for failing," try, "Let's figure out together why you're struggling and how to fix it." Teens open up when they know honesty won't destroy the relationship. Reason 4. They think you don't get it. The fourth reason is the generation gap. Teens often believe their parents just don't understand what they're going through. Social media, peer pressure, identity struggles, these are very real challenges today. I remember a teen who told me, "When I tell my mom about Instagram drama, she just says, 'Ignore it.' But she doesn't get how big it feels to me." Parents often minimize because they think they're helping. But to the teen, it feels like dismissal. The fix: show curiosity, not dismissal. Even if it sounds trivial to you, say, "That sounds tough. Tell me more about it." When you take their world seriously, they're more likely to invite you into it. Reason 5. They don't want to disappoint you. The fifth reason is surprisingly tender. Teens stop talking because they don't want to disappoint you. I once spoke with a high-achieving teen who hid his stress. He said, "If I tell my parents I'm struggling, they'll think I'm weak. I don't want to let them down." Your teen may love you so much that they'd rather carry the weight alone than risk your disappointment. The fix: remind them that your love isn't based on performance. Say things like, "I love you whether you get an A or an F. What matters is that you're honest with me." When teens know they are loved unconditionally, the pressure to be perfect fades, and they begin to open up again. How to rebuild communication. So, let's get practical. If your teen has already gone quiet, how do you actually rebuild communication? Here are 5 powerful strategies that I've seen work again and again with families. Let's break them down together. 1. Create non-judgment zones. The first strategy is to create what I call a non-judgment zone. Teens need a space where they can talk without fear of criticism. For example, you could say to your teen, "I want you to know that if there's something important on your mind, you can tell me, and I'll listen first, before I react." That one sentence alone can change everything. One mom I worked with used this technique and told her daughter, "Even if you tell me something shocking, my job is to listen, not to punish." Within weeks, her daughter started opening up about her friendships and stress at school. The lesson? Safety creates honesty. If your teen feels judged, they'll shut down. If they feel safe, they'll share. 2. Use side-by-side moments. The second strategy is to use side-by-side moments. Here's something fascinating. Teens often open up more when they're not directly facing you. Think about car rides, cooking together, folding laundry, or even playing a video game side by side. The pressure of eye contact disappears, and the conversation flows more naturally. One dad told me his son never talks during dinner, but when they go fishing together, the boy suddenly starts sharing everything. Why? Because the activity feels casual and safe. So instead of forcing deep conversations at the dinner table, create opportunities during everyday activities. Sometimes the best talks happen when you least expect them. 3. Share your own struggles. The third strategy is to show your own vulnerability. Teens often believe their parents can't understand them because parents never struggled. But when you share your own stories, it breaks that wall. For example, you might say, "When I was your age, I failed a test too, and I remember how embarrassed I felt." Or, "I had a fight with my parents when I was a teen, and it was really hard to talk about it." When you do this, you're not making it about you. You're showing that you understand. It tells your teen, "You're not alone. I've been there." And once they see you as human, not just an authority figure, they feel more comfortable being human with you. 4. Ask open-ended questions. The fourth strategy is to change the way you ask questions. Most parents ask questions that end conversations. "Was school good today?" The answer? "Yeah." Done. Instead, try open-ended questions. What was the best part of your day? What was the hardest part of your day? If you could change one thing about today, what would it be? These questions invite your teen to reflect, not just answer. One parent I coached switched from yes-no questions to open-ended ones, and within a week, her daughter's answers went from fine to actual stories about her day. Remember, the quality of your questions often determines the depth of their answers. 5. Celebrate honesty. And finally, the fifth strategy is to celebrate honesty. When your teen tells you something, even if it's not what you wanted to hear, thank them. For example, if your son says, "I skipped homework because I was tired," instead of exploding, try, "I appreciate you telling me the truth. Let's figure out how to make homework more manageable." This doesn't mean there are no consequences, but by celebrating their honesty first, you reinforce trust. Over time, they'll learn, "I can tell my parent the truth, and it won't ruin our relationship." One teen once told me, "I lied because it was easier than seeing my mom cry. That broke my heart." Teens don't lie because they're bad. They lie because they're scared. If you reward honesty, lying becomes unnecessary. Wrap-up of solutions. So, to rebuild communication, create safe, judgment-free spaces. Talk during side-by-side moments. Share your own humanity. Ask better questions. And celebrate honesty. These steps may sound simple, but together, they can transform silence into conversation and distance into connection. Conclusion. So, why doesn't your teen talk to you? Often, it's fear of judgment, lack of listening, fear of punishment, feeling misunderstood, or not wanting to disappoint you. But the good news is, communication can be rebuilt. With patience, empathy, and a willingness to listen, you can turn silence into connection. I'm Dr. Leo, and my mission is to help you navigate the hardest parts of parenting with clarity and compassion. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with other parents, and subscribe to Parenting Made Simple with Dr. Leo for more proven parenting insights. And remember, when you listen with empathy, your teen will eventually find their voice again with you.